Jury selection begins today in the murder trial of George Hughley. He is accused of killing Cockeysville native Yeardley Love. 2 years ago, she was found dead in a pool of blood in her off-campus apartment. Police arrested and charged her ex-boyfriend with murder. Police and prosecutors say Hughley kicked in the door to Love's room, repeatedly banged her head against a wall, and left her bleeding. His attorneys say it was a tragic accident, and they question whether alcohol or prescription medicine was really the cause of Love's death. Attorney Steve Allen with Hodes, Pessin & Katz joins us this morning with a look at the case. Good morning.
Good morning, Patrice.
What does the national media attention, I mean, this case has gotten a lot of attention, and now they have to select a jury. What does all the attention so far do to selecting the jurors?
Well, it makes it tough because you got to find 12 people who can say they can be fair. You're not going to find 12 people who have not heard about it. The second aspect is, even after you pick a jury, this jury is not going to be sequestered.
Okay.
So they're going to go home every night, and they're going to have access to the evening news, their friends, neighbors, loved ones, and they're going to have to work very hard at not listening to that stuff and not being influenced.
And in your experience, do jurors really do that?
Well, they do, but one of the problems we've seen in the last few years is the effect of the electronic media. People get on Twitter, people get on the internet, and it's been a real problem. And these jurors are going to be instructed, and they're going to have to stay away from that stuff.
All right, let's talk about what has to happen in the case. What does the prosecution need to prove in order to get this first-degree murder, which could carry life in prison for?
Well, the prosecution needs to prove premeditation. That is, that he went over there intending to hurt her, intending really to murder her in connection with a fight they were having. On the other hand, a win for the defense here is manslaughter. Manslaughter is only a 10-year offense.
Okay.
And so they're going to try to prove it was a heat of passion, it was an accident, they were both drunk, and unfortunately something which normally would not have led to death resulted in her death.
But if he told the police that he went there, he kicked in her door, I mean, he had to violently get into her bedroom, kicked in the door, and then shook her and hit her head against the wall repeatedly, all of which he says he did. So there's no question there. What does that do for his case? Well,
that's all evidence of premeditation. But on the other hand, he was intoxicated, he was upset. He told the police afterwards, when they told her that she had died, he was surprised that she had died. So he's going to argue that it was all a heat of passion event, and that as a result, he had no intention to hurt her.
And just quickly, his defense is also bringing into question whether the drug Adderall that she had a prescription for and was taking, whether that may have led to a irregular heartbeat and caused her death. Is that out of left field, or could that really?
Well, that might factor in to the manslaughter. Now, don't be surprised if there's a plea this morning. There is something for both sides in a plea. For him, a minimization of how much time he serves. For the family, the pictures don't come in evidence, and other evidence about her and what happened. So it would not be a shock. Not likely, but it could happen.
All right, we'll be watching. Probably have you in as the trial continues. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Well, coming up, this split-second obscenity you might have missed if you blinked. I must have blinked because I missed it again. Who's blaming who for the error? And a new exhibit is crawling into town. We take you live to the Maryland Science Center for a peek at all things bugs. 6:51 is the time. You're watching Fox 45 Morning News, all local, all morning.